The latest trailer to BTS's documentary series is making BTS ARMY sad and angry at the same time. Understandably so. BTS explained the song 2-3 was their attempt at guiding ARMY to start a new journey with them. They wrote the song as they were starting to seriously question whether they can continue as a group or not. They were going through what could be considered the hardest time as their life as BTS. Aside from having to deal with the unfamiliarity of success, they were still constantly the target of criticisms, destructive ones at that. And here are some of the ridiculous slanders told about BTS during that time, and many of it still persists to this day.
Hi! So BTS and Big Hit released a new teaser on Spotify for their new documentary, which will be aired on Disney Plus. And some of you asked me to do some sort of an explanation to clear up what they said about 2-3. They said that this was a song specifically written for armies to sort of inspire armies to forget about the painful things that they went through and to start anew. So for those of you who came in early 2013, 2014, even 2015 armies, I'm sure a lot of the things that I'll be saying you already know. But for those who came in later, this is going to be some sort of an intro on some of the hardships that BTS actually went through. I've done something like this, but as I've said, this specifically for those who requested to provide some context on what BTS said about the song 2-3. Alright, if you end up liking this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe and hit that notification button so that you know when there is a new video coming out. And share the video if you can. Okay, let's go into the video.
BTS is nothing without HYBE's money. It's actually the other way around. HYBE is nothing without BTS's money. Big Hit spent millions on glam, and we all know what happened to that girl group. They were so hard pressed for money, they had to let go of all the trainees and just concentrate on BTS. At one point, they had to ask BTS to leave their dorms because they couldn't pay it anymore. Up until the most beautiful moment in life, Big Hit was still struggling with money, and that was when they first entered Billboard 200. Up until Love Yourself, they were still sharing rooms in their dorms. TXT, who debuted in 2019, actually talked about practicing in the basement, a room with no ventilation. BTS made the money people see now. BTS made the money so others can debut easier. This is not to discredit people who were working behind the scenes, taking care of the business side of things. HYBE wouldn't be HYBE if it was run by idiots who don't know how to invest and reinvest their money. But no amount of genius can make money sustainably without something or someone people are willing to pay for. Again, it is actually HYBE who wouldn't be anywhere without BTS's money. BTS chased the Western market. In the Harvard Business paper studying Big Hit and BTS's ascent to success, Bang Si-hyuk said they decided to write a song more global in appeal after they saw the American audience's reaction to BTS when BTS participated in KCON LA 2014. BTS actually was not considered a major guest in that show, but the screams and the cheers convinced Bang Si-hyuk the market was already there. It's up to them to grow it. The market came first, and then BTS agreed to do a song more global in appeal. That turned out to be Fire, which was released 2 years later. That is 2 years after the 2014 KCON. BTS does not follow the market. They create a narrative and they plan things in advance. That's why it took them that long to create a song more global in appeal. They already had a creative direction which they were following. They signed a publicist, Eshi Gazette, in 2016. The contract ended in 2018 as per the announcement of Gazette himself. But even before they released Fire, they already made it inside Billboard 200 with the Most Beautiful Moment in Life Part 2 at number 171. Big Hit recognized signs of existing Western market penetration first, and then they decided to grow it with a song. BTS sells everything. No, they're actually one of the most generous when it comes to free content. RM and Suga had 2 free albums, also known as mixtapes, prior to the release of their own albums. J-Hope had one mixtape, and he almost released Jack in the Box as a mixtape had it not been for the enlistment and the decision to release solo albums. They release fan songs every anniversary, and they do free covers of different songs fully produced. All Run BTS episodes are actually free to watch. They have BTS bombs and personally and directly do live video chats with fans, with Jin and Jungkook constantly battling for the longest direct video broadcast ever. They have released free concerts in YouTube several times already, and they have had a free concert in Busan. Even for a creator, and not a lot of people talk about this, and this is based on my own experience, Big Hit is so generous in the use of images and songs of BTS. I know a lot of you don't know this unless you're a creator, but a lot of other companies actually claim earnings of videos that feature their signed artists. But Big Hit lets creators use BTS's videos and songs for as long as it is used within reason. BTS and Big Hit are very generous when it comes to free content, which includes videos, concerts, and music. BTS was working on getting a military exemption. BTS repeatedly emphasized that they were planning on serving. They even included it in their Damn song. But it didn't stop people from speculating that they were working for an exemption. It was actually different politicians from South Korea who said that they should have gotten an exemption and actually passed a bill to make it possible for BTS to either do an alternative service or get an exemption altogether. In the recent controversy over Jamboree, where one of the politicians were campaigning for BTS to perform so that they can save face after their failure to properly plan the event, Tak Yun-min, former Blue House Protocol Secretary, emphasized that BTS requested for neither an alternative service or an exemption. BTS's agency bought their albums, otherwise known as Sajegi. People simply couldn't believe that BTS, a group from a small agency, could outsell Big Bang. Some deranged fans even sued Big Hit for artificially manipulating the chart. Bang Ji-hyuk and the rest of Big Hit have been open about their financial struggles that pushed the company very close to bankruptcy several times. Even in the book Beyond the Story, Suga mentioned that while they were experiencing so much success during Love Yourself era, they still weren't swimming with money as people would have expected. From a business perspective, it could easily be because they were still recovering from all the losses of almost a decade. The bottom line, they simply didn't have the money to spend on buying back the albums. Big Hit later on presented evidence that the spike in sales came from the West, as BTS was actually starting to significantly grow their Western popularity. It didn't silence the haters. In fact, they doubled down on the hate, crediting their own favorite group for the success of BTS in the West. BTS used Western collaborations to become popular. At the risk of sounding like a broken record, BTS's first sign of Western success came in KCON 2014. Bang Ji-hyuk recognized that cheers weren't the normal polite cheers fandoms give other groups. In his interview for the Harvard Business paper, he said that he was in so much shock because it was so unexpected that even his own company didn't believe him when he said BTS has a chance of getting a global following. Their first entry to Billboard 200 happened in 2015. The first prominent collaboration they had was with Steve Aoki for a remix of Mic Drop. While Aoki was a pretty respected DJ in the US, he was nowhere near the top. In fact, his highest Billboard Hot 100 entry was Mic Drop with BTS, and his last entry was Wasted on Me, a collaboration with BTS. Their collaboration with Halsey was not their first entry to Billboard Hot 100 Top 10. It wasn't the highest Korean language song entry either. On was at number 4, and if you count Jimin's Like Crazy, then it would be Like Crazy, which went to number 1. None of the other artists that BTS collaborated with was filling up stadiums at the level of BTS at the time of their collaboration with BTS. In fact, I will wager that some of the Western artists BTS collaborated with benefited more in their collaboration with BTS than BTS did. BTS destroyed the Billboard charts, and not in a good way. ARMY and BTS are villains of the global music industry. For many haters, they are evil, the one to blame for each time other people mess up. Whenever a media favorite artist fails to climb the summit, ARMY and BTS get blamed because it's convenient. When the US realized BTS and ARMY can launch any BTS song squarely at number one, ARMY's got blamed for buying albums and songs in bulk, and BTS was blamed for releasing multiple versions of an album. Apparently, it's okay when Taylor Swift releases multiple versions of an album. It's okay when other K-pop groups come out with more than 20 versions of an album. It's okay, but not when it's BTS. Apparently, The Weeknd can bundle his albums with more than 80 different items, but BTS can't come out with 4 versions of a single album. Apparently, it's okay to give a heavier weight on radio spins controlled by music executive with an incredibly non-transparent reporting system, but ARMY can't support BTS any other way. As Brian Rowley stated in Forbes, BTS and ARMY never destroyed the Billboard charts. It was broken to begin with. They never cheated their way to the charts. They just beat the industry designed for itself. And ARMY is far from being the first fandom to buy albums in bulk. They simply are so big that everything they do is magnified. Plagiarism, and even more plagiarism. Almost every release, BTS is plagued with plagiarism controversy. From Blood, Sweat, and Tears to Butter to the use of color bars as a part of a stage design in a performance, people have a feast demanding BTS's apology. I won't be surprised if one day, haters start demanding that BTS donate 100% of their earnings to charity. BTS is only popular as a group. BTS has done almost everything together. One of the reasons it became so expensive to get them as brand endorsers was the fact that you have to pay all 7 of them instead of just picking a member. And then Suga became the first rapper to earn over $3 million in a single arena concert in US history. First rapper. Jimin became the first Korean soloist and only second Asian to raise a flag on the summit of Billboard Hot 100 with a Korean language song. Jungkook followed with an English language song, and V has the second biggest first day sales for a Korean soloist. J-Hope attracted more than 105,000 people in his Lollapalooza set. RM became the first K-pop soloist to spend 6 weeks in Billboard 200 with Indigo. And Jin landed a Korean song without promotion inside Billboard Hot 100 at number 51. I love how BTS let their work speak for their success. BTS is only popular because of social media. There's a lot marketing can do. There's a lot PR can do. Marketing and PR can put a spotlight on anybody. It can influence journalists to write about you. It can even nudge media coverage or trigger some amount of virality. It can even fake a certain amount of success, but it cannot make real success, and it certainly cannot make substance. The truth is that BTS resorted to social media because unlike YG, SM, and JYP, Big Hit didn't have the funds to go heavy on marketing. At least not in the level of the big three. They didn't have the same amount of influence as YG, SM, and JYP at that time. Social media is free. But if that is all you need to succeed, then all influencers will become as big as BTS, but they aren't. Because you need more than thousands or millions of retweets and likes a day to become enduringly successful in the level of BTS. You actually need substance. Just like Michael Jackson, the Beatles, Elvis, and a few others, they actually had to start a revolution and win it for them to make a mark. They actually changed the music industry, the global one at that, to actually make a mark. BTS expanded global pop music to outside the US. They forced the world to see a different look of pop stars. They introduced a different sound of pop, one with actual substance. The message of BTS is so heavy that the global pop music industry is still unable to carry it. Believe it or not, the global music industry is still in shock. That kind of impact has to be real. No amount of tweets, retweets, virality, follows, or subscribers can fake that.
this issue about BTS becoming only popular because of social media is really ridiculous for me. I mean, any kind of product out there, any kind of artist, they all need some amount of marketing, some kind of marketing. Some marketing tactics are more blatant, more hard sell than others. BTS took a different route to it. Instead of actually blatantly marketing themselves, they developed a relationship with their fandom, and it has proven to be effective, and it is really the next wave, the future of global music industry. I think that's where everybody is going towards, instead of simply marketing their music and marketing their image. It's all about building a relationship with your fan base. So I think this is not just the trend, but really the future that BTS started, and it just so happened that social media is the platform that they have ended up using, but it could have been anything else. It's just that social media has a wider reach, it's easier and stuff like that. I do think that eventually new technology is going to develop, and that's going to push new performers into a different technological platform, but it will be still, at the heart of it will still be social media. And while BTS had social media, other groups from other companies had way more marketing using traditional route, TV, radio, their relationship with networks, their relationship with press people, stuff like that. So this is social media is just a medium. It's not the actual message, and it's not the actual product. So I would love to know what you think. Also, I would love to know once you've watched the documentary, I would love to know your thoughts. I will definitely be doing a reaction. A lot of you are already asking me for it, so I'll do one. But I am looking forward to what you will say about it. Thank you for being with me. We're nearing the end of the year, and I will be doing some sort of a review of the things that happened in 2023. I'll probably create one specifically for BTS, and then for the rest of K-pop industry, and for the rest of Asian pop, for the rest of Asia. So, and then I will be doing, a lot of you requested for a prediction, so I'll do that. All right, thank you so much. I hope that you learned a little something, or at least I ignited something. I hope I entertained you in some way. Please, if you ended up liking this video, give it a thumbs up. Of course, subscribe and hit that notification button, and share the video if you can. It's really helping my channel. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. I really appreciate you.